We just bought a home built in 1880 and had a big, beautiful backyard with nowhere to sit. So we went with Glengarry's Plum Plaza Pavers, and here's what we did with them. The first thing was to plan out our space. We measured out 18 by 20 feet and used stakes and string to mark the perimeter. We took our time here because getting the corners square from the start saved us a lot of headache later. Once the area was marked, it was time to dig. We excavated around 6 to 8 inches deep to make room for the base layer and the pavers themselves. We used a flat spade to cut the edges clean and dig out the sod. It was honestly the hardest physical part of the whole project, but getting a solid, level dig was the foundation for everything else. I'm sure you're asking, what did we do with all this grass? We were able to fill in some bare spots in the yard, which took a lot, and covered up some garden areas in the front that we no longer wanted to use. But underneath all that soil, I was able to find a few cool treasures. With the house being almost 150 years old, I was hoping to find something. Marbles, bits of pottery, and even a dime from 1902 were among my finds. How cool! After my archaeological dig was over, we laid a weed barrier inside the area for one extra layer of protection from future weeds. Now, with the area prepped, we put down about 4 inches of crushed gravel and compacted it into layers using a plate compactor. Renting one of these was absolutely worth it. We would have never gotten the same result by just tamping by hand. The gravel gave us drainage and prevented the whole patio from shifting or heaving over time, especially through the freezing and thaw cycles we get here in Pennsylvania. Once it was compacted and level, we checked it with a 6-foot level and made any adjustments before moving on. Before we added the sand, we ran construction line across the area exactly 3¼ inches above the gravel. This gave us a clear target height to screed our sand layer up to. So we knew we'd end up with a perfectly flush paver when we laid it on top. It's a small step, but it made the whole screeding process so much cleaner and more accurate. On top of the gravel, we added about 1 inch of coarse sand and screeded it out flat using a straight 2x4 and a couple of PVC pipes to guide us. The sand layer is what allows us to make small adjustments as we laid each paver, so everything stayed nice and even. We took our time to get it level, adding sand as we went to make sure we had the best possible base for the pavers. And don't you just want to walk on that? I want to give a big thank you to Glengarry for sponsoring this video. Glengarry has been making quality bricks since 1890, which honestly felt so fitting for a home built in the same era as ours. For this patio, we used their Plum Plaza paver. For the pattern, we went with a basket weave in the center and a soldier course running along the border. The best part about this combination was that when we planned the dimensions right, we didn't have to cut a single brick. The math worked out cleanly, which saved us time, saved us tool rental, and honestly took a lot of stress out of the project. We started by laying a soldier course border in an L shape first to lock in the edge, then worked in the basket weave pattern inward from one corner. Every few rows, we set a level across the surface and tapped down any bricks that were sitting a little too high with a rubber mallet. The Plum Plaza color is so rich, it looks incredible against the yard and really pops once everything was laid out. What I really love about these was that they're clay pavers, made from natural material, just clay and water. And living here in Pennsylvania with harsh winters, the freeze and thaw resistance and salt durability was a huge selling point for us. I don't know which took longer, removing the grass or laying the pavers, but I do have to say this was the most satisfying part of the project. Once we laid the last paver, we slept polymeric sand across the entire surface and worked it into the joints with a push broom. Then we used the compactor again on a low setting to knock off any excess into the cracks and create a smooth surface. Then we lightly misted the whole thing to activate the sand. As the final step, we ran a line of mortar around the outer edges to lock everything in place. This is a simple step, makes a big difference for the long-term stability of the whole project. And that was it. We are so happy with how this turned out. The Plum Plaza paver from Glengarry were really the star of the show. The color is baked all the way through the material, so it's not going to fade over time like concrete can. No sealing and no treatment is needed. For us, it was a no-brainer, especially from a historical home when we wanted something to look classic and was going to last. I mean, how good does this look?